Hello, we are live. Hello, Micah. How are you today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Great. So, I see you have a coat on.
I do.
Are you
Yes, I do.
cold?
I'm a little cold, to be honest.
Wow, I was gonna tell you it's really terrible here right now. It snowed during the night, and I could hear it like when you can hear it kind of a wet snow. It's
Hmm.
icy and gross, and I woke up, it was white, but now it's raining. So it's a disaster.
Oh, that's the worst when you get
It's
the
the
rain.
worst. So
Yeah,
how
the
what's
rain.
the temperature there?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to look. It's a little cold in there. I
It
don't
looks
need
warm
this heavy.
behind you. Like behind you, it looks like it's perfect weather in the desert.
Look, it's pretty cold.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's unbelievable. Now you know what it's like. Have you been out walking today?
no, no, I'm not that serious. I'll just stay in the house.
What are you saying to me? You're not that serious. I walk over snowbanks.
Yeah.
Wow. You're a wimp. The truth comes out, everyone. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming to my channel. So, thank everybody. I love StreamYard because I can see everybody in the chat box
Mhm.
really easily. We got Kelly, Stephanie, Jason, Casey. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. And
Hello.
today we're going to talk to Micah. I'm so excited to talk with you today. Happy
Yeah,
New
me too.
Year.
Yeah, you too. How's the new year going?
It's been great for 2 days. Well, one day.
Yeah,
It was
all two
it
days.
it was actually pretty good. Like, I have a big family, as you know, and through the years, we've had friends that are like, "How about if we take your kids and we have a party on New Year's Eve and we'll, bring them back the next day, like they're doing us a favor." And it's like, okay, and so they would go, and so they kind of got used to doing something fun on New Year's.
Mm.
We've gotten tubing, we've done all these fun, different ideas of things to do. But New Year's Eve, it was like, okay, I had 4 kids, there 4 that live at home right now, and they're all stuck at home.
Mm.
And I was
Wow.
like, I love it. I love it. It's like, I said, I know you guys probably don't think this is very great, but to me, it's awesome.
Yeah, that is one of the good
So,
aspects of it.
yeah, so I was just like, I'm glad you guys are home. So I tried to tell them that I was glad they're home, and that's just the mom, the mom wants to have all the little chickens all together
Oh,
safe,
sure.
in the nest. So it was good. So I actually went to bed early though. We didn't really have a huge party, but they, they were home and that was good. And yeah, and life goes on, right? One day at a time. How about
Hopefully.
you? Did you have a big party?
No, no, we didn't do much of anything actually. It was kind of a little bit of a letdown. I don't know. When I was a child, my parents did a great job of making, a nice, fun New Year's party, and I've just never been able to pull it off that way. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of just like, oh, whatever, the kids are, but you
Well,
know.
I can remember when I was a kid, I can remember babysitting and watching the ball drop like by myself because all the kids went to bed. So
Hmm.
I didn't really grow up like I had a lot of fun, a lot of great times, but I didn't really have to. Like to me, all the extra fanfare, major party stuff, sometimes it gets a little too stressful.
Yeah, I
So
can.
a quiet time is good, and having your kids safe is good. So yeah, it was just a little weird. I just kind of looked around and I all of a sudden just went, "This is great. You guys are all home." And you're like, "I don't have to make you stay home." Like sometimes I'm disappointed. How come you're not inviting me or something? But anyway, it was a little weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I want to talk about you today, and
Oh,
we're here as VIP Kid teachers, and that's how I met you through the VIP kidding on YouTube, basically. So why don't you
Yeah.
just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh gosh, you think I'd be prepared for something like that?
I would think
But
so. I gave you plenty of time. You had
I
like
know,
what, 24 hours?
I know. I hate to talk about myself, but I am Teacher Micah. That's my name. Here I am. I'm a teacher. So you know, uh, and what
Do
I
you teach
do,
or do you do it because you have to?
I don't really know. That's a good question. Sometimes I
Uh-oh.
don't know the answer. Uh, I just say that because I never think of myself as having an actual career. It's a weird thing. Like I always uh I don't know how you say, like I can bounce around, I suppose, and do something else. When I was young, I was in the army, and then I did construction for a while, and here I am kind of teaching for a while. So, you know,
Well, why do
which
you keep doing it? How long have you been with VIP Kid?
gosh, I've been with VIP Kid for 3 years now.
3 years. So
Yeah,
maybe a little longer than me.
maybe just a touch longer. I
Yeah.
wanted to say we were around the same time, but
I just
maybe
signed my is it the 6th? You're at the 2.5 year mark, so
yeah,
I'm
yeah. We're
starting.
I think I'm just a few months ahead of you. Not very much.
Okay. Well, I thought you were in it forever when I saw you started right out then with the health,
Yeah,
you had that.
I think I really did pretty quickly. And just because like I immediately kind of recognized like, whoa, there's kind of two things going on because you had teachers that were really super excited. It was a really exciting place to be, at that time. Maybe it still is. I don't know for new teachers, but it was very exciting. And teachers would come in and they'd had this combination of being like so ecstatic and excited by this new job, this new career, this new adventure. But at the same time, they didn't realize maybe some of the stresses that was being placed on them. And I think the excitement of the new job combined a little bit with that stress response, which I've talked about before, how your stress response occurs, makes you almost feel euphoric, a new teacher,
Yes, definitely.
and there's this feeling that new teachers really have, and sometimes the most the teacher that's really passionate and inspired about it ends up within that first 6 months, not to, sound like a Debbie Downer, but in that first 6 months can be really rough for a lot of teachers,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
yeah, so I thought about a way to really, really talk about that on more of a normalized level, because you didn't want to be in a situation where if people are going to do this job, no matter what, whether people like it, whether they don't like it, people are going to do this job, and if they do, they want to look after their health and performance and things like that. So,
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like when I first got into it, I did it because I was kind of looking for a way to make a few extra dollars. And I had tried to go to like Michael's, and they had a job that you could get there at 5 a.m. and you could
mm,
stock shelves till 8. And I'm like, okay, that would work. I could get down there early and be back. And my kids are still, just barely getting up at that time. And that was $10 an hour.
yeah,
But, here I am, I've done just about everything possible. And they're saying, do you work alone? Would it be okay if you work alone? Are you self-motivated? I'm like, I've been a mom of 13 kids for 13 years, for
yeah,
25 years. I can do anything. But I didn't get hired. And I'm like, my goodness, they think I can't stock a shelf.
yeah,
So then I was like, then I saw this come across. I'm like, that would be perfect. But I just wanted a few extra dollars. Like I wasn't looking at, I need, to pay my mortgage or, like a life, like a $100,000 salary or anything.
mhm,
But then I saw people getting in and they were like trying to make this their life's work, and they were working every possible half hour. and
Yeah.
not and you could tell by some of the posts that they were like physically suffering. So that I was
Mhm.
concerned about that at first too. So I'm like, you have to schedule yourself so that you can actually live. You can't just,
Yeah.
so
And that is something that's gotten better with, people
I think
talking
so
about it.
too.
And
I
part
think
of
it
it's just experience, like, which nurses, which I call nurses, the original shift workers, I mean, they work those hard hours. Thing is, when you become a nurse, you're going to have like generations of nurse that came before you to kind of say, okay, this is how you should manage your life so that you can, actually make this a career if that's what you want to do. Because some people do want to make this career. If you're going to make it a career, you're going to have to, you know, take care of your health.
Right. And that's why I appreciated your program way at the very beginning was like, I want to, not just sit in a chair for hours and hours and hours. I want to make sure that I'm doing what the purpose is. The purpose is to
Yeah.
make a few extra dollars to make your life better, not
Hmm.
to like run yourself into the ground. So,
And that being said, I mean, the other, I really love the relationship, that we have with the students. That's very rewarding as well.
mhm. Yeah.
So
Did you get any people like I have a few students on WeChat. Did you get any
mhm.
WeChat New Year's messages?
I did. I got a few. I've been less active now on WeChat than I used to be a year ago even. And I don't know why. I think just some of the relationships have maybe changed a little bit in this last year.
Yeah. I just have like 5 or 6. Like I don't even have a whole bunch and
Mhm.
I have given it out a few times and they don't respond. I don't even know. But I got like 2 kids that sent me an audio message and just said happy new year. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
So Jason said he got a few WeChat New Year's messages. So that's awesome. I had one kid yesterday that was so tired because he must have been up, and it was so funny. He didn't want to do his lesson at all. And
Yeah.
he was like slurring his words. And I'm like, let's just get through this.
Let's get through it. Yeah. It was a lot of fun though, working the other night, and the kids were excited for the new year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I want to ask you, how did you find VIP Kid?
I think that's pretty simple. I'm pretty sure I found it through Indeed.com. I think they sent me a
Oh,
email, probably from one of those people that, I don't, the referral people that just use that Indeed route. I'm
okay.
guessing.
Yeah.
Um,
They got the word out big time. Yeah.
they got the word out. Now, of course, I did like a lot of people did, and I said, "Well, is this really like a real thing, or is this like a scam?" It seems like
Exactly.
weird they'd pay you like
We
that, but
still don't really know.
we don't really know even now. Yeah,
But we do get paid, so that's good. Now, I'm gonna
right.
ask you a question. Are you tech savvy?
I like to think so, but maybe not as
Are
much as I
you as
used to
tech
be.
savvy as I am?
Uh, Gosh, I don't know. Maybe.
You haven't watched my videos, so you don't really know.
No, it's been a while.
Are you doing Manicam yet?
No, I do Manicam.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just made this background with Manicam. Like on Canva, you can go in and get backgrounds and just
Hmm.
snatch it and put it up behind you. So I'm just new to it. I just started like within the past month. So I'm not that tech savvy, but I'm learning along the
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
And I'm careful with that stuff because these days I don't know if my computer will handle all the processing.
Yes, that's true. And that's what happened to me at the beginning is I realized my computer's junk. I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
So then I worked really hard and I just went ahead and got a better computer. So now
Mm,
I can do whatever I want pretty much.
nice, nice.
Except drive it.
No, yeah.
So, yeah. So, do you ever teach from your iPad?
Yeah, I haven't done it in a long time, and that's one thing I'm so sad about is that they stopped basically supporting it, you know.
Oh no, you can still teach from it.
You can, but the app used to be great. In fact, remember we used to say it was actually better than teaching from a computer.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
still
nice.
really good. It's still really good. It's
Mhm,
just that some of the newer, like the new main course for level 1, some of the songs you can't play. But a
mhm.
friend of mine, she took her iPad and she had one class, and so she just used her phone for the songs.
Yeah.
So you can still use it, and it's still really reliable. So, um, a lot of people do complain, but you don't always know why they're like there's a lot of factors that go into is my
Yeah.
iPod not working. So,
And I knew early in my teaching career, I used to talk to a few people that worked for VIP Kid on WeChat, and one of them was a person who worked on the um the iOS app, you know, that stuff.
oh really?
I don't know whatever happened to her, but yeah, I used to talk to this, lady that worked in Beijing, and that's what she did.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know that like you can't use the AR stickers, but there's still a lot of people on my iPad group that still teach from the iPad exclusively. So, it's still possible.
Yeah, and
But
that used to be the best way to get in is you could buy that iPad. I don't know what one, but the more or less the cheap one for like 350. That's all you needed. You
yeah,
know, you don't
as
even need a
long as it's
headset.
a right, you don't need a headset. I actually have been teaching with my MacBook Pro with no headset
Mhm.
because I have AirPods, but these are I think there's a newer model that are even better than these.
Yeah,
So I'm just
always.
kind of
It's just,
testing these out. Yeah. So let's see, what other questions do I have for you? What's your schedule? How much do you teach for the company?
well, I teach about 100 classes a month.
A month.
Uh,
Okay.
a month.
Yeah.
So, depending,
Like 20.
sometimes 120, you know, um, but I teach in the evenings is when I teach. So,
So,
'cause
and you're
I'm
in Arizona, so what time of the day is that for you?
I'm in Nevada, so that is
Nevada, sorry.
and so that is 4:30 is when my first classes start. I don't typically get a lot these days at 4:30.
So
You know,
4:30 in the evening?
mhm,
Oh, that's interesting.
or
And you do
somewhere.
that during the weekdays, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
Hmm, interesting.
Yeah,
Because
that way I don't have to worry
I
about
do like
sleep.
Friday and Saturday night, but I didn't know you could still do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
You're not gonna do a whole lot of it. That's
Okay.
the thing is that if you book really, really strong, you might be able to pull 100 classes a month. You know. So yeah,
Interesting.
it's unfortunately you're not probably gonna. But I don't. My goal is only about 100 classes, so that's fine for me.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I wanted to ask you now, you go to I met you through the health and wellness aspect of VIP Kid. You want to
Mhm.
you have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, and I haven't made a whole lot of channels
I
on,
haven't
or
seen a video lately. We have a
no.
video group. I didn't know if
Uh,
you're interested in making videos. We have a video group going right now where we're like supporting each other, watching each other's videos, making
mm.
videos. So,
Yeah, I think I just decided that with the time investment that for what I'm trying to do, just using Facebook is probably the most efficient. Unfortunately, it's not like too many people are going to watch my videos. I enjoyed making them though, you know.
well, you have to what I'm learning is you have to make it so that people know you're making a video, you
Hmm.
know? So you have to kind of like you make the video and then you make a plan of how you're going to share the news that
Yeah.
you just made a video.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I'm learning too. So what do you like to do you have a weight loss group, and I'm kind of in that. I've kind of not been as active in there lately, but
Mhm.
how do you like it? You've kept up with it. It's been a blessing that you've kept up with it through thick and thin.
Yeah, it's been a while. We kept it going, but it keeps me going though too, because with everything going on, it's like a healthy outlet, to feel like you're doing something.
Yeah.
So
And
so
there's how
I
many people in that group now?
I think we have around 760, but the important thing really is the active members, right? How many are active? And I think there we're up to like 641, which is kind of
Wow.
a decent, I guess, percentage wise. It's not the biggest group, but unlike a lot of groups, we don't necessarily aim to be like I do remove people. I do, shut down invites, just for privacy reasons, something like that.
Yeah. I think it's Kelly says she likes your channel and please keep making videos. So you have a lot of people that like your videos. So
Well, one thing about 2020 though that is that I've really really learned is that this is definitely the year that has taught me like nobody's an expert. you know, like you can get up there and say I could say exercise is good for you, and most people would agree with that, but then somebody would probably find a scientific, peer-reviewed journal that shows that actually, exercise increases your risk of injury and it's actually quite bad for
yeah.
and my point is that I think this is just a year to inspire people and try to be positive rather than to try
Right.
to be the expert on anything health related.
Well, that's actually what I really liked about the group that you started, because that's kind of where we started was just bringing people together and just do one thing, just
Mhm.
do something. And now I remember the first conversation we had was about that bulletproof coffee. Do you still drink that stuff?
Not very often, and that just shows you the evolution of health and wellness. Because when we first started that was what everybody was talking about. They were like, "Oh, you got to make these keto coffee things," and now nobody talks about it. It's
I can't
that fat.
stand it. I just do black coffee. That's it.
That's the way to go, probably. Those, I think they were calling them fat bombs. I mean, they're good. They like a lot of things with a bunch of fat and salt and um, no, I
Oh
do
man.
like them. That type of diet, which I'm probably atypical. Like if I were to go on just about any diet, it would work. Probably. So yeah, I mean that kind of coffee it really gets you going and stuff. Now I'm not going to be on a keto like a strict keto diet, but that's just me. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, I just like the group because there's a lot of people on it, and different people have different ideas. And then you can kind of gravitate to the person that is working for you. Like, we had a girl on there, like, the one girl is doing like all of these exercises every day that I can't even do. Like I
Yeah.
can't possibly do all those right now. Maybe someday I could, but and then a lot of the arm ones I couldn't do. But then I saw somebody was doing walking, and I'm like, I could definitely walk. Like I could walk
Yeah.
forever, and where I live, I have plenty of places I could walk. But actually, I'm here to confess that I haven't walked in a while. Like I've kind of gotten a little bit discouraged with, sometimes your emotional stuff just pulls you down so much
Yeah.
that you have a hard time just, you know, keeping up with regular life. But I do need to get back to walking. But to me, that was the best thing because it got me outside and it was something I could do, get you away from the housework, that kind of thing. But then there's Heather with the yoga, and I've done her yoga class several
Mhm.
times. And then you also have like a meetup, right? Are you doing that every week?
Yeah, I forgot to I forgot to do the next two. So, but yeah,
Okay.
I've been doing them every week, all the time. So, and that's been pretty cool.
So, so who goes to the meetups?
I'm gonna share this
Just to
on my
give
little
people an idea of
summary.
like, it's not everybody who's already in shape that goes to the meetups. I mean, people go just to have other people to work out with, or, and sometimes
Yeah,
you might get intimidated because some people are really doing great and you feel like I'm just, embarrassed or whatever. So you can just turn off the camera. Like you don't have to have the camera on. You just watch the workout, join
yeah,
with the group type of thing.
yeah, for sure. I try to design these workouts a certain way, which the whole idea behind it is that anybody could do it. So it's challenging doing them on camera like that because you want everyone to be able to see what you're doing. And so if I got up there and said, okay, we're going to do the, whatever weird exercise and people don't know what I'm talking about and I have to show it. So one, I have to kind of keep things simple, right?
Hmm.
Two, they have to be modifiable so anybody can do them. People with, whatever, limitations can still do them. And, I think thirdly is I'm trying to make them more strength based and cardio based. Just meaning that, a lot of the workouts that you might find online are really cardio workouts, beach body, that type of thing, which I think a lot of people like them. They're fun. But, during this lockdown and quarantine, I think, we really need to worry more about the strength side. So that's what I kind of try to focus on. But anyone can do one of my workouts because I can show you modifications that you can do that, within reason. I mean, yeah, anyone could do them. I've worked a lot with older populations, special populations, so yeah, I'm pretty easily able to tell someone how to make it harder. Some people might think, well, this is too easy. We do have young people that come, and and then on the other side, we want to make it easier for those people as well.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that's, yeah. And I think the thing is to just do something. And then when you realize if you're new, you're just going to have to build up to maybe what you want as a goal, and maybe you're just going to move something for the first couple times. But
Yeah.
I just appreciate that you're willing to do that, and that it makes it nice for the teachers. I have not done that many meetups. Like your meetup was one I did. I just went to a meetup with some people that Casey did about like self-care. That was really
Mhm.
good. And I was really, I had a lump in my throat because I realized how many people are really hurting right now,
Oh,
like for multiple reasons. And, just so many issues going on with, regular life is hard, never mind
oh
what we've
yes.
been through this
Hmm.
year. So, and as a teacher community, it's just been great to see how people are trying to find ways to help each other, even though we live all over the world, really. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah,
So,
the community is really fun, which I didn't really mention that, but that was a big motivator for me here is just the whole community. When I first started with VIP Kid, that's I wanted to be a part of it. It's changed a lot, but when I first started it, Jennifer Anderson was really prominent. And she was just great and made it, everything really fun. Of course, Nancy was still very active. Teacher Tina, all those people, the original Club Orange, as I call them,
yeah.
are
Yeah.
the only Club Orange. I don't know, but they just made everything a lot of fun, and not just them, but everybody, the spirit, and just I don't know
Hmm.
if you remember, but Friday nights we used to have like Instagram parties and even Facebook
No,
parties.
I didn't know that.
It was a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
and maybe they still do, and I'm just not a part of it. I don't know, but I remember we used to have a lot of fun on weekends, teaching and just, I don't know. It was.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, I have a small group, behind the scenes. and we kind of text each other here and there, which is really nice. The collaboration station people with Casey and everything. Yeah. Oh, Cindy Pummer, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And I don't know. Let's see. Casey was asking, did that start? The weight loss, I think she's probably talking about the weight loss contest. When does that start for the group?
Monday.
Monday.
That's the
Okay.
big day. So, and did I post anything? I really meant to ask some of those people if they wanted to come in and talk about such a thing.
I
'Cause
posted
people,
on the group.
okay.
But I don't know if anybody, I don't see anybody here from the group, but
Well, the funny thing is I've I've never had a lot of people from the group join in a lot of things I do. It's really kind of, you would think that like the workout should be nothing but that, but it isn't. It's
well, the thing is, I found that people that they need that one-on-one. Like if you
mhm,
invited them personally and said, I really want you to come, they'll be like, oh, he wants me to come, But when you
yeah,
do a group post, everybody thinks it's for someone else. That's what
right.
I've learned. So I make even my iPad group, I'm like, hey, I'm doing a video and nobody comes. But when I talk to them personally about something, they're like, oh, thank you so much. I think that's just how people are in
Yeah.
general. You guys you can chat box tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I'm kind of old, so I'm figuring a few things out. So even at my church, people are in my church and something happens and we think everybody's invited, but they still want that personal invitation. So
Yeah,
it's
but
some
yeah,
of us aren't like that. For me, I just say, "Hey, we're all invited. Okay, I'm there." I take it personally. So
yeah, well, now there's another perspective that maybe I could give a little bit of is sometimes I actually avoid, as a man, as a married guy, I avoid some of those like social situations, I guess, just because it feels like, well, a bunch of ladies probably don't, want me at their meetup and stuff. So,
yeah,
so
we had one guy in Casey's group, and I kind of felt bad because everybody kind of shared stuff, and I don't know if he felt like he didn't want to, or if he felt out of place or something. I was going to ask Casey about that because I respect. I understand. I want my husband. I would be fine with him doing this job, but he doesn't really
mhm,
want to. So he'd be good at it, but he doesn't want to. He's kind of busy and he gets tired, But I feel like in a way this gives me more to do, and I feel good about it. But I understand that feeling. But like even on the weight loss group, we could, you know, try to work. The people that are administrators could work on breaking the group down and trying to zone in on each person take a few people or something like
mhm,
that, you know.
yeah,
So we could probably help with that. But when you go on live too, though, you don't go on live that much. If you just went on like 5 minutes every couple days or once a week or something like that, that might give more of a, sense of community too for you. And you can even do StreamYard. Like StreamYard, you could invite people on even at a moment's notice. You just send them the thing and you say, hey, let's chat about whatever. Oh, you can't lose weight? Let's talk about it in front of everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Let's talk about
You
it.
wouldn't want to
But
do that. But some people don't mind. Like some people, they need that kind of accountability type of thing,
some
and
people
that
don't
does
mind,
help people.
and it would be good. And I tried a little bit just to show people the process. How do you lose weight, really? And there's a process to it, and it's hard to teach people that. Sometimes on this, you know, this media, if you will. It's better in person, but
Oh, yeah.
I try to, right now we have a lot of people, and you know, it would be great. It's hard enough just to let everybody know when the start date is, you know, you know,
Right. It's true.
let
It's
alone
true.
to kind of guide them along, what I think, and this is just my opinion. It's not but what I think people should do, what I think would work for them. It's hard to really, but we try,
Yeah, and you're there. You're there, and being consistent is half the battle, really. Just being consistent, being there. I'm not criticizing anything. I'm just
mhm,
saying, you know, there are when people don't go watch all the videos, it's just because maybe they didn't see it, or maybe they didn't know, or maybe they thought, like I
well,
have
like,
videos on the iPad. I have 3,600 people in the iPad group,
mhm.
and I only have on my most recent iPad video like maybe 200 views. And then they ask the questions that are in the video, and I'm like, watch the video, guys. You know.
Yeah, it's right there,
So,
and
people don't.
that's the thing. I mean, well, you look at that 5K run that we just did, which I think that's one of the biggest teacher-led events in VIP Kid history. Like, it was bigger than some of the early journeys, like as far
How
as
many
teachers.
did you get?
A little over 700. You know,
Wow, congratulations. I did
so
not participate. I'm sorry, but
and
I
and
should
that's
have.
that's with the help
You didn't
of,
ask me personally. If you had said, Cindy, I really want you to do this, I probably would have done it.
yeah, probably. Um, and
But
and
I
and
knew you were doing it, and I just said no.
and I did everything I could to let people know about that. It was in the
Yeah.
weekly teacher update. I had sponsored ads
Yeah, I
for
knew
it.
it was there. I knew it was there. What day was it? Was it before Christmas or
I think technically it's still going on, but
it's still going on? Oh no. So now I
yeah,
really can do it.
but I did
You have
everything
to
I
wear
think
a
that you
Santa
could.
hat?
You do have to wear a Santa hat.
Man. Okay. I'll have to check into it. Now
But
that
even
I'm
with,
like the whole world is watching this video and now I have to do it.
I think there's 24 hours left
I'm just kidding.
to do it.
24 hours, there's still time.
I
But
think
it
so.
snowed and rained. You should see this mess out here.
That's
But
a lot of,
yesterday was perfectly fine.
yeah, a lot of people can't or haven't been able to do it because there's too much snow
Do you
and
have to like videotape yourself?
no, there's actually an app, and it was really, really
Oh,
cool.
okay.
So there's an app, and when you run it, I mean, it feels like you're really running it, I suppose. But it'll tell you, like, oh, the person ahead of you is 42 steps ahead of you or whatever.
Oh,
And then on
so
top of that,
cool.
I had Eric Chong, from VIP Kid, added some audio to it, so that of him saying
Wow.
motivational things like, don't give
Did you
up.
make a video about that?
Not really. I didn't really make a video,
Perfect video.
but something like that.
So
You know,
awesome. Cindy
anyone
Pummer
could have
said she dressed
participated.
up like an elf. Do you know Cindy
She could,
Pummer?
yeah, I do, and she had pictures of herself. They were pretty cool. Did you see them?
I
A
I
lot of people did.
I know she had a good year getting in shape and everything, but I
Yeah,
didn't see the part about the. Is this all in its own little group or something?
we do have the group, VIP Kid Teachers Who Run, and
Teachers who run. Can
yeah,
you
people were
walk it
posting.
though?
People did. Well, a lot of people walked it.
Okay, I'll look into it
Yeah.
after.
Well,
So I wanted to ask you a couple of fun questions before we sign off. Like, can't be all like
mhm,
serious, I mean, part of good health is having fun, right? And being
hopefully.
happy and smiling. I just watched the videos and put it on my Facebook about ways that you can kind of good, easy things to do to kind of live happily that don't cost any money. And one of them was smile more. Smile
Yeah.
more. Even if you, it was so funny because he's a famous guy. I can't remember his name, but he said, even if you have to force yourself to smile, smiling will help you, and it's what we do every day, right? with VIPKid, it's like good for our health in the right way when you smile and you're happy
Yeah,
and you
for sure.
kind of put your stuff aside. So I'm gonna ask a few questions. They're not like probably hilarious, but just fun questions. So what was your favorite Christmas gift that you got this year?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one.
Well,
I really
you
think
get a
I
lot of
really
stuff.
like that. I really like that water diffuser. That thing has been a life changer, really.
Oh, good. I had one of those once, but I don't. It broke or something.
It's
I
one of
haven't
those
been
things.
drinking as much water, but yeah,
I like I didn't know I needed it, until I had one. You know.
yeah. And you had like mint stuff in it or something, right?
Yeah, I put some mint leaves in it. You can just buy some mint leaves or probably grow them if you wanted to. And
Yeah, and that's a really good way to, that's a good thing to do is to look into those types of things that are good for your health, like herbs and mints and even the fruit inside. I learned I can't have too much water with lemon. A little too
Mhm.
much lemon is not that great for me.
Yeah,
But here and there, it's good. My daughter got one of those seltzer water maker things where you
yeah.
put the water in it and makes it bubbly. I thought that was kind of cool. Do you have one of
Yeah.
those?
No, I wanted to get one, and the wife was
I
kind
thought
of
my husband was buying me one because I said I really love it, and he was playing with his phone, but one hasn't showed up yet.
yeah.
So,
Amy has one that she uses. She talks about it quite a
oh
bit.
yeah,
And, yeah, and she makes. I think she started out making the actual like soda water with it, but now she makes other things. Like good. You can even make diffused water, and it'll
yeah. I
be.
was gonna say you could do that minty water with it and
Mm,
stuff. Yeah, my daughter, her family, they like love seltzer water. Like their kids and everybody's just like they can't have enough of it. I just drink regular water, so
mhm.
I save money that way. But I like that diffuser thing. I was going to ask you another question. What is the best gift that you gave this year? It doesn't have to be money,
It doesn't have to be money. I think.
monetary. It doesn't have to be monetary.
Yeah, well, as far as a monetary gift, I do think that that airplane I bought my son was a good one.
That
Uh,
looked like a really good one.
well, it's one of those things that you do with with him, and taking it out to fly it for the first time, probably be one of the most memorable days of my life, where you know, and it's like a lot of things, like taking your kid fishing or something.
Mhm.
But you
Yeah.
know, he couldn't get the landing gear out for some reason, and he had to land the plane on its belly like a crash landing, and so it didn't go perfectly, but that's part of what makes it, memorable,
So was it broken or
No, well, yeah,
fixable?
surprisingly, he landed it very well, and the plane itself is a scale model, and like of an actual, military plane. So it actually lands pretty well, like that, but it just scraped some of the paint off of it was all it ended up doing. So yeah, it still flies.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Now, is he doing like virtual learning this year or
Yeah, he's in
he's
the
at home?
virtual. Yeah, he hadn't stepped foot inside his school, which is a big change for him. He's a three-sport athlete, so normally
Wow.
we would hardly even see him because he'd be so busy
Yeah.
with this activity. Funny thing is,
Yeah.
his GPA has improved because he's not doing.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah, he's not doing
Wow.
sports,
But he's
so
concentrating on his schoolwork. That's great.
mhm, he has more
That's
time. So
awesome. All right. So I have a question about VIPKid stuff. What is the funniest like get up that you have? Like if you had to be funny all of a sudden with the students, what would
oh,
you do?
it's a shame because I'm not in my classroom
You're
actually. I
not
have a
oh, you're not in
backdrop,
your
but
classroom.
but No, so I don't have anything around me. Actually, it looks like I have a little something here, but I do the my stick is, oh, I can't quite reach it, is the glasses,
You can go off
glasses and
camera. I won't tell
headbands.
anyone. I won't tell
I
anybody if we
only
don't
have
see you for a second.
I just happen to have one pair here, not ones I
Oh,
wear
those
a whole lot,
are awesome. Valentine's, here
but
we come.
I do a lot with the glasses and changing stuff around, and but I don't know. The thing I think that kids respond to the best for me is that fake food.
Fake food. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, kids like that. I have the Manny cam now, so I'm trying to work on throwing things in here and there.
hmm
So what did you give for rewards over the weekend?
Let me think. Did I do anything for rewards? I've been dialing it back on rewards for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't really know why, but what have I been saying? Great is the new excellent. You know, like I used to give students excellence across the board. Now it's great. And they have to really impress me to get an excellent. But
Wow,
yeah,
that's awesome. So do you
yeah.
teach the little kids or the bigger kids?
Well, it's weird. I don't teach the little ones as much anymore. I used to only really do them. When I first started, I was
Yeah,
level one. I was exclusively level one for probably the first three contracts, you know. And then when I wanted to go evenings, I knew that level ones wouldn't be enough on their own, so I would have to get every certification there is. But
right.
yeah, what was I talking about?
Awesome. You were talking about the funny things that you do or rewards, what rewards you had for your students this weekend or like
Yeah,
Christmas, New Year's.
I haven't taught a lot. Is the real truth of it in the last week or so. Just kind of taking it
Okay.
easy since the holidays. But the little bit I do anymore, to be perfectly honest, I use a whole lot of Find a Star with for rewards.
Okay.
Uh, with,
So like the 2D ones
the other
or
two
what with Google Slides.
with Google Slides, with
Okay.
Mannequin and Google Slides, is I've gotten accustomed to just kind of using that a lot. The little kids still like the fake food, the fake ice cream.
Yeah.
It's
They love
it's
ice
still,
cream.
for whatever reason, it doesn't have this. It feels like it doesn't have the same impact it did just a couple of years ago, and I
What,
don't know
the
why.
ice cream or rewards in general?
The ice cream,
Oh,
like
really?
I swear, used to they would be like, oh my, like they would really light up, and now it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
But
I think you have to kind of keep doing new things because the kids get used to things and then they're just like they think they know what they're expecting. So I found
mhm,
you have to kind of like change it up and they're like, "What? What's that?"
yeah, you have to
So
change it up, and yeah, so
I had one kid today that he kept looking down. I think he might have had a game or something and he wasn't even looking up and I'm like, "Are you looking at something else?" He's like, "No." So then I just
no,
put a dinosaur up and he's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. So now you're looking." All
yeah.
right. So I wanted to go ahead and ask you at the end of this video that if do you have any wisdom advice that you could share with teachers, kind of like a little tidbit, either something you learned from last year or something you want to inspire for the new year.
Probably the number one thing is stay off the official uh, Facebook group. You know,
Oh yeah, I think I learned that one. I
and
got blasted on that one for something. I can't even remember what it was. Oh, the Philippines. That
yeah,
they said that they were starting to do and I'm like, they have computers? Like I'm thinking it's like tribal area. And
yeah,
and they're like coming at me like I'm like, excuse me, I'm just like type the question. You could just say, because I mean, if they want to charge teachers, like they want to pay them like $6 or $7 an hour, how do they have the money to buy a computer?
Well, not now as far as that stuff goes, which I never really spoke to that because a lot of people were there exists right now a few of the companies, iTutor Group being one of the most prominent I can think of, where they currently do it that way. They'll hire people all over the world and they'll pay them according to the region. The people that actually need to be the most worried about that are expats, like Teacher Tim, who's living somewhere else, but they're making
Right.
standard rate. Well, with this, it kind of says, okay, well, you're living in Malaysia or wherever, we're only going to pay you $5 an hour, whether you're Canadian American or whatever, which is an interesting, I'm into all the social stuff, which, I don't know how much but how, what it really means to the greater society, but it's interesting that they're doing that. But, anyway, back to the real thing with the VIPKid teachers. It's like the community's so wonderful in many ways, but then at the same time, it's like, man, some people just like to tear each other apart,
Yeah, I totally stay away from it. Like, I'm like, don't even know they really exist. So when things like that happen, I'm like, what?
Yeah, yeah. And
You
there's
are
always
not my tribe.
I don't know why, but there is always something there that and a lot of people like that. They really do, honestly. They like the drama and but
Well, I was in a group years ago, probably 20 years ago now, and it was a group of moms with lots of kids, and they were homeschooling their kids, and they all were Christians. And we probably had 30 to 40 of the moms in there. And for me, it was just like an oasis because I didn't know a lot. I didn't know anyone who had a lot of kids at that time. And I was home
mm,
with my little kids, and so I couldn't go out much and meet up with people. But we had so much drama in that group, and it was so funny. Like, we would get all upset because I mean, I was a lot younger. We'd get upset, we couldn't sleep, all these stupid stuff happened. So I kind of learned from that what can happen online. So I just learned, hey, you don't have to enter the conversation. If you don't like something, it's okay, just let it go. You don't have to even respond to it because it doesn't really matter that much. If they don't care what you say, there's no point in responding. you
well,
know?
yeah, and and quite frankly, I think there's people that they really just once they decide that, hey, I'm against this person or whatever, it doesn't matter what you say,
That's just awful. That's awful. Yeah, I can remember one famous person got a bad rap, and I did keep posting at that point because I'm like, you know, nobody deserves to be treated the way that person was treated. And I don't, if they were wrong, they will, answer for it eventually. But it's not our job to make that happen, when you barely even know the person, you know? So it was just, anyway, but I think that's good advice. Anything else?
Let's see. So I went into that. You know, I, I
Stay
think
off
it's
the
thing.
official group. Get into the weight loss group if you want to participate.
Yes.
You can join my iPad group. Watch YouTube videos. That's how I got to know people just by watching a lot of YouTube videos. You can tell what people are like, and then when you start commenting, you make friends.
Yeah, and it's really great. And of course, I really wish, of course, that you had the opportunity to go to Atlanta and we all had gotten to meet and you see that, so many of these teachers are just they're amazing people in real life as well, you know.
I think so too. That was the biggest blessing for me was I just thought I was going to make a few extra dollars. And I never thought, oh, I'm going to make YouTube videos. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I just was like, I just want to make a few extra dollars. And then
Mhm.
I just met so many amazing people. It was awesome. It's still awesome. And a lot of my friends are like branching out. And I think that's cool too, is that people are using the skills that they learned with VIPKid and they're growing with it and branching out into new things. Like, you know, even Amanda Panda, she's making a course on Manicam, and other people are branching out into even unusual things. Like one girl is in the Nancy Taylor course, and she's going to make videos, and she thought it was going to be all about VIPKid. She completely switched it to helping people put their kids to sleep because that's what she's studying, and she's excited about sharing that information, which is very valuable.
Yeah, and that,
So
probably might have more, something people would be interested in the VIP kids stuff. Who knows?
right. And so, you know, it's cool. And I also took like Tim's course website in a weekend. So
Mm.
I made a website. It's very basic, but I felt like I had conquered the world because I had so many things I had to learn with that.
Yeah.
So I kind of put it aside because it wore me out. But yeah, so it's just, you know, learning new things. I never expected to grow that much and learn that much.
Yeah,
So
it's been really a cool thing. Well, I just redid all my CEUs for some certifications I have, and I was able to put presenting at Journey on there as actual units for my continuing
yeah,
education, and they
definitely. That's
and they get
awesome.
yeah, they gave me quite a bit, so that was really cool. It actually probably saved me around $100 in courses I would have had to have taken to replace that.
That's
So
awesome. And then you also, you know, you have that credibility where the company, you know, gave you that opportunity so they know that you're a leader and that kind of thing. So sea salt, that's a new person that I've not seen in my. I'm learning that the trainings and slides are not all what it's really like in the class. And I'm trying to do this focus on building skills so that I can create my own thing someday. How long has Cindy been with VIPKid? I have been with VIPKid for 2.5 years. So a little over 2.5 years. And Micah's been 3 years. But, and that's the new thing. Like a lot of people are starting to get into making their own courses. And even I've seen where you can make your own app. So you can make your own courses, make your own app, have your own little online school, basically. So that's where you
yeah,
need to go, Micah, with this.
yeah, yeah, and stay flexible. There's been a lot of opportunity, with things shut down. There's always opportunity in anything. There's some opportunity there, but unfortunately, with the kids off during the day, it makes it hard for me to really do a whole lot of stuff. Because I really want to, it probably need to be focused on them more than anything else. Or else, the out school would have been really probably a big thing. Are you
Yeah,
doing
that's
that?
a really good thing. Yes, I'm doing out school, but the classes that I am doing aren't the ones actually booking up as
Mhm.
quickly. So I'm gonna have to make up some new classes because other people are making way more money than me. So I mean, technically, I would like to kind of like lower the VIPKid and do more without school, but I'm not
Mhm.
at that point yet. So that's what I kind of was wanting to do within the last couple months, but I haven't gotten there yet. So
And it's going to, I think everything has a time and a place, and that kind of goes into what I was talking about career wise, how I kind of, I guess I stay flexible and change. Like the out school next year, everybody might be in school, and the out school might not be, might not be
yeah,
very rewarding. Who knows? Or, you know, China could decide that, do we really want to learn English? And that could be it, for VIPKid, you know,
or they could, you know,
and
I always thought they once they have enough of their own people, they can just teach each other. So yeah,
yeah,
that's always like there. But you just have to take it one day at a time. And, I just loved it when Nancy, Nancy Taylor, most of us know who that is. She was high in the VIPKid ranks and recruiting lots of people, and then everything changed and she found another way. And so I
Mhm.
just loved her attitude that, we can find another way. There'll be a new thing that will open up. And we just have to be open to changes and growing. For me,
Always.
I never expected to get to where I am right now. So to me, I'm doing more than I ever
Mhm.
expected at this time in my life. I'm glad I'm not having to go to Michael's and stack shelves for
Yeah,
$10
really.
an hour.
Mhm.
so
Yeah, this beats that.
So Sea Salt says, what are your thoughts on extending your time in the class once it ends? I'm finding I need a little extra time to just hang with the student, 10 minutes. Yeah, I do have a video about that. I made a video. It's called Should We Stay Longer Than 25 Minutes?
Well,
That is a debatable subject.
I think what she might be saying is, and maybe I'm wrong here, is that so she's finishing the slides early, or they, are finishing, before 25 minutes, and what do you do to, with that time? Is that what she's saying, or
Extending your class once it ends. So I was thinking she's saying 25 minutes and then I want to go longer. I'll just say it, to be honest, at the beginning, when I first started with VIPKid, I had like one class and no class afterward. That temptation to stay longer was there, and the ability to stay longer was there. But they don't have that. They don't have that capability, and they want you to stop between 25 and 30. And a lot of people are saying you should stop at 25. And I did discuss that in my video. If you want to watch it, I kind of gave, and there were people that said, I don't care what you say, I'm going past 25 because I love my students and I go all the way up to 28, 29, 30 if I need to. So some people still go longer, but my opinion is do the 25 and be professional about it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I do 25 minutes and try to get out. Other teachers are gonna feel, like, hey, if they feel like it helps their bookings to do extra. I've actually had the opposite experience. I've had kids that are kind of like, hey, it's been, are you gonna get the class
Exactly.
over with or what? Like,
Yeah, and some kids, they see that thing going 25 and they're ready to go. I've had kids that it's 25 and they press the button before
hmm
you even say goodbye. And so that's the other thing is kids aren't always that ready to stay. But I also had a friend that was always going over, had a student always staying longer, always going over, thinking this person is like their best friend in the world. And then like that 1 week they're done, never to be heard from again. So you have to be
well, that's
careful
the
not
thing.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing is you give so much of yourself, and you have to respect yourself at the end of the day. With a lot of the things that happen. Yeah, you could have the best student and you think, man, this person sends me gifts on, holidays and everything. And, whatever it is with the LPs, some people think the LPs move teachers around sometimes, or it could be the student themselves. Yeah, they'll just fall off your schedule one day. And, so.
or maybe the parents stop like having the money for it, or maybe they start working like going through a different company.
They
There are
could.
lots of things that happen. So
And
I just
yeah,
think that you do the best you can, be their best friend for 25 minutes. If you go a little bit over, it's fine, but shoot for 25. That's my advice.
mhm. Get your
Because I need
feedback.
that few minutes to just be like before the next one.
It definitely helps, even if it's just 30 seconds or a minute to just kind of clear your mind. And, of course,
Switch
that's what I
gears.
do. Well, I leave my space, and I think it's important to do that. To like,
That's
for
true.
me, I get up and walk into the kitchen,
Yeah.
but, just kind of to get out of that workspace for a minute.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I've kept you an awful long time. So, and I haven't been exercising. I'm sitting. I actually started sitting and I'm like it's a lot harder to stay awake when you're sitting. So I
Mm,
was sitting, standing, but I switched my whole room, and I just was like, for this week, I'm going to sit, but I definitely have a harder time like being alert and energetic when I'm sitting.
yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, so that's another thing. If you're new sea salt, you might want to try a standing desk. All right. So thank you so much for this awesome thing. I'll go check out
Awesome.
the 5K. And that would be me to wait until the worst day of the entire contest to do it on that day. But and I'm not embarrassed. I'm not afraid to wear a Santa hat, even though it's New Year's. That's the kind of
Might
person
as
I
well.
am. So.
Mm,
All right. Thank you so much. And you have a great day and Happy New Year.
will do.
Thank
Happy
you
New
so
Year to
much.
you. Thank you, Cindy. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.